Hi everyone, with the information that we received over the past couple of hours, I have a couple of scenarios on the lower time frame that are very interesting and that I like to share with you. Now I always start on the higher time frame and you still see I got this as an A, B, C. However, as explained in the previous video, if we do not reach the target, the minimum target, which is also a rare target for a wave C, which is the 1.38 over there at about 26k, if price is not going to reach this with the impulsive 4-wave move, I would maybe prefer having this as a wave 1, 2, and then a wave 3 instead. So those are the two scenarios on the higher time frame, this either being a A, B, C, but then I would like the 1.38 to hit, or this is going to be a wave 1, 2, and then eventually we have a wave 3. Now that being said, let's jump into the lower time frames, because now you know where we are in the higher time frame, and that's why I like to start with the higher time frame. But let's jump into the lower time frames then. First of all, we had a very deep retracement in the past couple of hours and we almost took out this low. And that is actually quite relevant for the ending diagonal scenario that I'm going to show you right now. So we have the blue wave count over here, but then wave 5 goes there, wave 4 goes here. Now in this case, wave 4 is then an A, B, C, even though this C is very extended, unusually far extended, but it can still work. And then we have this for the ending diagonal, basically, well, creating something like that. Now each wave of the diagonal is a 3-wave structure in this case, so this would then be wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The problem I have, however, is how deep this retraced compared to this impulse over here. So if this is a wave A, which is a 5-wave move, and we have a 3-wave move to correct wave A, so this is wave A, then we have B, and then we have C, wave B went unusually deep, because usually in a zigzag structure, the lowest target for price in the retracement is the 786, which is the orange line that you see. So normally you have a wave A, zigzag, and then wave B goes to the to the 786 maximum. But in this case, we even had some hourly candles closing below the 886, which is the red line that you see over here. So because of this, it makes this scenario a little bit less likely, more unlikely, because now, because of this deep retracement, I'm not so sure if this ending diagonal is going to be, if it's still my preferred scenario, because I have another scenario which might actually be more interesting. So let's have a look at the other scenario now, where I'm going to remove these and I'm still going to add the blue count because this one is relevant. So with this scenario, wave 5 should have ended over here. Wave 4 should then have ended over here. So that basically means that the higher time frame count is in, which is, there we go, where's my wave 5? There we go. So then when we go to a higher time frame, you would see that it's complete. We have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the ending of this wave 5 is absolutely valid. This wave 5 ending over here is absolutely valid. And that is because if we pull from the high of 3 to the low of 4, a retracement, and we change the 1.38 to the 618, you can see that wave 5 is inside this area. And this area between the 1.236 and the 1.618 is a valid target for a wave 5. So it can be completed. And then in this case, this move down should be a W or an A, followed by then a B or X, and then eventually a move further to the downside. Now the reason that this move over here has to be, if wave 5 ends here, the reason this move here has to be some sort of a very sharp zigzag, like at least a 3-wave move, is because we took the high of the beginning, or well, basically the high of this wave 5, if so. And if this is a 5-wave impulse, we're not allowed by the rules of Elliott waves to take the start of the impulse, which we did with this high. So this move then has to be something else. So you could think, okay, if this is a 3-wave structure, it might work, because then we have a 3 over here, followed by another 3, followed by, who knows, another 3 coming up. So this is another scenario that I have in mind at the moment, but let's jump into the lower time frames because it might clarify some things. So when we look at the lower time frame, you can see that, well, let me actually remove the fibs here because those are not relevant. There we go. And also remove the 886. So what you can see over here is that I've been working on trying to count the lower time frame, while I will also remove these just to not confuse and really focus on what's happening here in front of us. So as you can see, I currently labeled this as a, who knows, maybe this is like a leading diagonal in this case. In the case of the ending diagonal scenario that I have, this then being like A, B, and maybe a C up. In this case, the B wave, which would be a 3-wave structure, is an ending diagonal. But in this scenario, this might be a leading diagonal. So this might be like an A or 1, followed by something more to the downside. And I labeled this, let's go to the 5 minutes, as wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This then being a purple wave 1, followed by a correction ABC for the wave 2. Then we have wave 3, 4, 5. And then after wave 5, this is a corrective structure, an ABC, because this move looks very much like a 5-wave impulsive move, but we took the low. We took this low. It's like the on the coin, at least on the Coinbase chart, we took the low. Not on every chart, I checked, but on the Coinbase chart, we actually took this low with the candle. So it can't be an impulse. This move here cannot be a wave 1 because we took the low. So if this is not a wave 1, but it looks like an impulse, like a 5-wave structure, it has to be a C, which therefore means this can be an A, B, C, which then also helps me identify that this is then likely to be the end of 5. So that is why you see the white A over here. Oops. The white A would then end there in a 3-wave structure. Then we have B, and then eventually we have either a wave C or it's going to be a W, X, Y. So that is something that is still unknown. This can be a W, this can then be an X, and this can then be a Y. Let's make that white as well. But at least what it basically means is more upside. So on the lower time frame. So let's go to the 15-minute. I hope I don't confuse you guys with the different scenarios. I really try to give you as much information as I can in a couple of minutes that I have with you. So in this case, this then would be a wave A or a wave 1. That is still unknown. So let me actually label this as well. So this then is a wave A, possibly B, C. Let me put another color here as well. So let's do it like this. So in this scenario, this can be a wave A or a wave 1. Then we have a B and then we have a C. But it can also be potentially a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wherever that goes. So basically what I'm saying is with this scenario, more downside is expected, while with the ending diagonal scenario, more upside is expected. Of course, it's like, hey, you're always right maybe because, hey, you have a scenario for up, you have a scenario for down, but it's about what is more likely. And because of how deep this retracement is at the moment compared to this move, I might actually favor more downside. So I might start to get this scenario as my preferred scenario. So again, on the lower time frame, this looks like a 3-wave move up, followed by a B or an X. And I would like to see a bit more upside for the day as well. So this target over here, the 2 lines, let me actually, oh, not that one. Let me put the numbers on. The levels, there we go. So this is a very common target for a wave C. And also if this is some form of an A, B, C, then the 1.618 is also the most common target, which is over here, which has confluence almost to the dollar with the 1.236, so with the yellow line. However, a wave C can also be extended to the 2.618. And actually the 2.618 also has confluence with my target box And the target box that I have has a couple of different confluences, like a daily, some naked point of controls, but it also has the point of control of the range, which is the range that we've been in. There we go. And as you can see, the 2.618 has perfect confluence with the point of control of the range that we've been in for the past few days. So that would be a very interesting target for a wave C as well, potentially. But not to forget, this can also be a wave Y. So either it's a wave C, or, you know, wave C can also end here. Or this can be a wave Y. And for a wave Y, this is also still a very valid target. But then this should be a 3-wave sort of structure. So whatever happens is yet to be, you know, we have to see. We have to wait and see what price gives us. Won't be surprised if eventually we go up and up and up here, if we have a little bit of a retracement, and then see if we can bounce, or if it continues falling and grabs the liquidity that is now below all these lows as well, because there's quite some liquidity down there. So let's see what happens in the upcoming hours. Yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you. So I have two scenarios. I have the ending diagonal scenario, and I have this more bearish scenario going on. Very locally, yes, we might see a bit of a move to the upside today. Who knows? Of course, it can also go down, but that's, you know, yet to be determined. We don't know. The only thing I can do is share with you my ideas, as well as a couple of targets and rules following the Elliott wave principle, and then we'll see what happens, right? So yeah, overall, the chances of the different strategies are changing. I am less in favor of the ending diagonal, and I think I am going to be more in favor of this scenario, where eventually we'll find more downside, and that is because of how deep this retracement was compared to the 5-wave structure over here, which is very, very, very uncommon if this is a zigzag. So that being said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video as well and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye bye.